You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
I'm Howard Dory.
And I'm Jess Dory.
And we host Plotting Through the Presidents. We take deeply researched, deeply irreverent dives into the myths, mysteries, and scandals of the men and women who shaped America.
Join us as we dive deep into topics like
the undeniable riz of Aaron Burr.
The what now?
And the odd feeding habits of everyone's favorite founder,
John Adams.
Subscribe and follow Plotting Through the Presidents now to plot along with us.
Find out more at plodpod.com.
Hi there, it's Anne Foster from the Vulgar History podcast. My very good friends Katie and Nathan wanted me to tell you to just prepare yourself that their podcast contains some strong language. My podcast contains some strong language as well, so if you're really interested in that intersection of women's history with whimsy, with screaming about feminism, you may want to check out the Vulgar History podcast as well. Enjoy their show.
Hi, this is Katie.
And this is Nathan.
And you're listening to Queen's Podcast, the show about women in history. Hey, Nathan.
Hey, Katie.
Hi. It is the first day of February, so dry January is over.
Yeah. Cheers, bitches.
Cheers, bitches, because I needed a drink for this one. I needed a drink.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's sad. This episode was a bummer to research, but you guys have been asking for it for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really interesting. Just because a story isn't happy doesn't make it any less interesting.
Touche.
That's what we got today with Charlotte of Belgium, sometimes also known as Carlota of Mexico. So Nathan, who is she?
Very well-connected European princess who went on to be a short-lived and ill-fated Empress of Mexico. And guys, sad story.
This one has a lot of rabbit holes.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of really interesting side quests. This one will be a two-parter. And we have an assignment for listeners. If y'all are listening in real time when this comes out in early February 2026, let us know what you want to hear after this. If y'all have someone in mind who has a happy ending, someone who just dies of old age, surrounded by her friends and or family,
would be great. Yes.
Slide into our DMs, comment on Spotify, send us an email, send us an Instagram message. Let us know who y'all want to hear after this, who has a happily ever after kind of thing.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, Nathan, what are we drinking?
I felt like ranch water was very telling of this. Yes. So very simple, guys. So a couple shots of tequila or, the non-alcoholic tequila, but it's not dry January. And then you just fill it with soda and lime. And then you're done.
Ranch water is one of my favorite cocktails. It's simple.
So easy, simple. Yes.
It's easy. Tequila has grown on me, and even more so, mezcal has grown on me so much in the last few years.
So she's upgraded.
We went to Mexico City a couple of years ago, and I've always, I was about to say I've always liked mezcal. That's a lie. The first couple of times I had mezcal, I was like, what? But then, I don't know, it just started to sneak up on me. And then when we did our trip to Mexico City a few years ago, we did a mezcal tour, and I just kind of fell in love with it after that. So
has this been my whole life?
Yes. Vodka soda or ranch water, either one of those, interchangeable for me. I'm a happy girl. Happy girl.
Agreed.
So anyway, before we get going, we've got a couple of Patreon shout-outs.
Shout out to Brianna, Justin, and Veronica.
Yes. Thank you so much, you guys. And thank you to everybody that listens to the show, supports the show. Hey, if it's your first time, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Howdy. Welcome. Thank you to everybody. Yeah. And without further ado, Nathan, let's bring a Charlotte little Shar into the world.
Shar. So, Princess Maria Charlotte Amelia Augustine Victoria Clementine Leopoldine. Yes, that's right. She had several names. She was born on June 7th, 1840 in Brussels, Belgium. That is a way too much name. I got tongue-tied just saying it for one little baby girl. So she was known as Princess Charlotte, which is also what we're just going to defer to.
We're just going to call her Charlotte. Yeah. So June 7th. So she's a Gemini, and guess what? We got her time of birth. So we got her whole chart. I love it. There's so many women in history that we have no idea, like even for sure their birthday.
The year.
But I feel like for this season, besides like Margaret Pole, we've been pretty lucky with like them actually documenting time of birth and everything.
Know.
So we got her big 3, Nathan. You ready for this?
Okay, let's go.
We got a Gemini sun, we got a Virgo moon, and we got an Aries rising. What do you think about that? What do you think? How's that playing on you? What do you think? What are you thinking about that?
The Gemini, obviously, fellow Gemini sun, will say that you just want to dig deeper. You just want to read more into it. You just have that curiosity. The Virgo,
Virgo moon.
The Virgin. Okay, Virgin.
Okay, virgins. I struggle with Virgos in any placement. I have Virgo friends, but like sometimes I'm just like, when I don't see eye to eye with them on things, I just have to remember, you're a Virgo. You're a Virgo.
but Aries
that Aries rising.
Yes. Like, I love the fire.
I love it. I love an Aries, but I wonder how that Aries and Virgo. Aries rising is the audacity.
The audacity. The lion, the wardrobe, and the audacity.
I think that's an interesting big 3.
Indeed. So before we even really get to know Charlotte, let's get to know some of the family lore. Why don't we?
Yes, the more lore, the better.
So her dad, Leopold, was a German prince, and he actually seems like a pretty chill dude.
I didn't see any huge red flags with Daddy.
And
cool.
He fought Napoleon Bonaparte in the Napoleonic Wars. So yay.
Okay, yeah.
Ish. Decorated war vet, and he was young, and he married the heir to the British throne, a lady named Charlotte of Wales. They married for love, which is uncommon. Yeah.
Love it for them.
Love the love. They were head over heels in love with each other, which was really rare for the time.
But sadly, Charlotte of Wales dies in childbirth. And Leopold is like heartbroken. And he's like, well, I'm never doing that again. Never getting married again. Fuck that. That sucked. Until he was elected king of Belgium. So he gets elected king of Belgium. And they're like, well, you have to have children. If you're going to be a king, you have to make future kings. So you have to get married.
For purely strategic reasons, he marries the daughter of the King of France, Louise of Orleans.
Orleans. We're from America, not far from New Orleans, or so we say Orleans, but she would be Louise of Orleans.
And this marriage, not a love match like Dad's first marriage at all, but it seems like they did like and respect each other, and it was happy-ish. So that's cool when that works out.
I mean, we've definitely seen it go way worse. We've definitely seen it not be happy at all. So it's better to get married and then fall in love than get married and then immediately go, uh-oh. So, or at least get married and then fall in like. So, yeah. Fun fact. I don't know that we've ever seen this before. So Dad was a Protestant and Mom was a Catholic. And no one had to convert for them to get married.
Oh.
Because we've seen this before, and we've seen it be like a point of contention Like when people had to convert and it takes months for them to convert and like, will they convert? Who will convert? Blah, 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 blah. They just kind of did an interfaith marriage. Like they did parts of the ceremony and parts in Lutheran and parts in Catholic, which for us now in 2026, I'd been to interfaith weddings before. That's quite modern. But for then, have we ever covered I can't think of anything.
I don't think so.
At least not for like a royal couple. I don't think we've ever covered one where nobody had to convert and they were just like, that's fine, we'll do both.
Yeah, that's unheard of in these episodes. Yes,
I thought that was kind of cool.
Uh-huh. Mom and Dad had 4 kids, with our girl Charlotte being their youngest. And yes, she is named after Dad's first wife, which is a choice.
It's a choice.
But everything I read said that she was her dad's favorite kid, because back then you could just be allowed to go around and be like, yeah, that's my favorite child. All the other ones, frick off.
Absolute side note, which we are not going to get into, have time to go into. I will link to a podcast in the show notes if y'all want to learn more about this. Her brother, who goes on to be Leopold II of Belgium, was an absolute, one of the worst people in history that I've ever learned of. So Leopold II was this absolute, this fucking guy doesn't even cover it, monster. This podcast called Behind the Bastards does I think a 3-part series on him, and it's mainly behind about what he did to the people of the Congo Free State. Yeah, we don't have time to go into it, but he is a monster of a human being. And so yeah,
great.
If you're like, Leopold of Belgium, that sounds familiar. Wasn't he that horrible person? Not her. That's not her dad. That's her brother, who's not really going to get mentioned a lot in these episodes. But if you do want to learn more about her monster brother, I will link to those episodes in the show notes.
All right. Anyway, that's enough family lore. Let's get back into Charlotte's biography. And right off the bat, you can tell this little girl is well connected. Her grandparents are the King and Queen of France, and through her dad, the newly crowned Queen Victoria just so happens to be her first cousin.
Oh, Queen Victoria. Maybe you've heard of her. Maybe. And so these 2 royal families, the French royal family and the British royal family, they're actually really, really close, which is convenient because when Charlotte was only 8 years old, there was a French Revolution again, and the royal family was overthrown again. But luckily, Charlotte's grandparents didn't get Marie Antoinetted. No guillotine, head on neck. They got to just run away. Because, remember Marie Antoinette tried to run away and the French people were like, no.
Literally.
When Charlotte's grandparents tried to run away, the French people were like, yeah, that's for the best. So, but Charlotte's grandparents ran to England, where Queen Victoria just put them up for the rest of their life, gave them a cottage and was like, yep, you live here now. That's fine.
Yeah. So she was really close with both families and went over to England, visited, spent a lot of time there. And from all accounts, Charlotte's early childhood was super happy.
Yeah.
She was the family pet, basically. Everyone loved her. She was a happy, affectionate child, and everyone in the family showered her with love and affection everywhere she went.
Her mom was in control of her education, which was pretty good. She had a good education. It was a girl's education, which I hate that it was any worse than the boys' education, but that's life. However, let's not discount what a girl's education looked like when it was a princess,
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
By the time she was 12, she spoke French, German, and English. Her tutors actually noted that she was a natural. She just had a knack for learning languages really easily, which I wish it were me. It's not me. I wish it were. I wish it were.
But because she was Daddy's favorite, she would go sit with him while he was working on more stately matters. And just because she was a curious little kid, she had a bunch of questions. And she ended up learning her fair share about politics from a really young age, too.
Sadly, when she was only 10 years old, her mom died quite suddenly. And this was like an absolute gut punch to Charlotte and the whole family. In fact, her dad, Leopold, even became less present in his kids' lives after mom died. I guess that was like his way of dealing with grief instead of being around his kids and like helping them deal with their grief. He just threw himself into his work and handed his kids over to like their governesses.
So Charlotte, in turn, lost 2 parents at the time.
Cool. It's probably not surprising then that we see like a huge shift in her personality. From child Charlotte to teenage Charlotte, she becomes much less like this cute, bubbly personality. Some more like serious, like I am the daughter of a king. I am going to be the wife of a head of state one day. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, kind of. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Just like much more serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, very serious, very purpose-driven, very Virgo. Very
Virgo.
Very Virgo moon, yeah.
And we've seen a lot in this show before, people being like, oh, royalty above everybody else. But the way Charlotte thinks about it seems a little different.
Well, no, like, because remember when we talked about Alexandra Feodorovna? Hers was just sort of like, well, because I'm royalty, I deserve to have a gold fucking toilet or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way Charlotte viewed herself. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. It's not that bougie-ness, if that makes sense.
It's more like duty-driven.
It's not so much we're God's chosen, so that's why we deserve to have silver spoons in our mouth and, let the peasants starve. But it's more like God has given us the responsibility.
Exactly.
So if I fuck up anything, whether it be my studies, it's everything. It's a stain on me as a person, my family, and my duties to God.
That's a lot for a 13-year-old to be walking around with.
Right? And that should be enough to drive someone crazy. Foreshadowing.
Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit because she's getting older. And when you're a royal girl, once you hit your teens, you gotta start talking about getting married.
Because if you're 16 and got no prospects, old maid status.
You're past your prime.
Love the Lil Abner reference.
Lil Abner, yep. Our girl Charlotte may have been very serious and smart, but she's also very pretty. And we are also in the time where there are pictures, so you can look it up. She's definitely cute. And on top of that, she's the only daughter of a king. So she's a hot commodity on a marriage market.
Her dad had a suitor in mind, a guy named Pedro of Portugal.
Ooh.
He's handsome, he's wealthy, and Leopold was never going to force his daughter into a marriage. But he was like, hey, I hear there's this nice guy, and there's this place in Portugal that's warm and lovely.
Portugal's got nice wine. You can sit on the beach. Ooh, I love this. But someone else has already caught Charlotte's eye. And we will introduce him as soon as we take a quick break. Be right back.
All right, y'all. Every group has one person that insists on doing things the hard way. That friend that still pays for a subscription they forgot they had. That one refusing to update their phone because, hey, it still works. And dear listener, I used to be that person, especially when it came to overpaying for wireless. I just assumed expensive phone bills, they're just a part of life. until I switched to Mint Mobile. Mint exists purely to fix the "that's just how it's always been" mindset. You get the same coverage, the same speed, unlimited text, talk, data, but without the inflated price tag. I was honestly shocked at how seamless the switch was and how the service stacks up exactly the same way as my old carrier. Just, oh my gosh, so much cheaper. Right now, for a limited time, Mint Mobile is offering 50% off 3, 6, or 12-month plans of unlimited premium wireless. You bring your phone, you bring your number, activate with an eSIM in minutes, and start saving immediately. No long-term contracts, no nonsense. Plus, with a 7-day money-back guarantee and customer satisfaction rating in the mid-90s, it's basically risk-free. Ready to stop paying more than you have to? New customers can make the switch today for a limited time. Get unlimited premium wireless for just $15 a month. Switch now at mintmobile.com/queens. That's mintmobile.com/queens. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, and $180 for 12-month plans required. $15 a month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Over 50 gigabyte may slow when network is busy. Capable devices required. Availability, speed, and coverage vary. Additional terms apply. See mintmobile.com for details.
Are you dreaming about becoming a nurse, or maybe you're already in nursing school? I'm Nurse Mo, creator of the Straight A Nursing Podcast, and I want you to know that I'm here for you. I know nursing school can be challenging. I've been there, but it doesn't have to be impossible. Sometimes the key to succeeding in nursing school is to hear the concepts explained clearly and simply, which is exactly what you get with weekly episodes of the Straight A Nursing Podcast. Each Thursday, I teach a nursing concept or share tips and advice to help you succeed in school and at the bedside. My goal is to help you improve how you study, get more done in less time, pass your exams, and feel more confident and clinical. And if you're already a practicing nurse, these episodes are for you too, because as nurses, there's always something for us to learn. So subscribe to the Straight A Nursing Podcast, and I'll see you on Thursday.
And we're back. Hello, hello. And we're going to introduce the guy who was made this serious young lady forget all about her bugs. A young man named Maximilian. Archduke Maximilian, if you're nasty.
Ooh, okay, Miss Janet. So now we have met this man's family before. We've actually met Maximilian in the Queen's podcast multiverse before.
Yes.
If you jump back to in our Wayback Machine to the Queen's podcast classic episodes of Elisabeth of Austria, aka Empress Sisi, which I'll go ahead and link to her episodes in the show notes. So Sisi's husband, Franz Joseph, and he is the Emperor of Austria. And Franz Joseph has a brother named Maximilian. And that's this guy. That's this guy we're talking about. That is the guy that has caught Charlotte's eye.
So, for all you Sisi stans, your girl makes an appearance in this episode. And we wish it was going to be a little more friendly, but it's not.
It's not. Sorry. So in the spring of 1856, when Charlotte was 16, which we have to keep in mind for this time was normal, she met the 24-year-old Maximilian, brother of the Emperor of Austria, a Habsburg, who already had a bit of a past.
Ooh, tell me more.
Okay, well, first of all, I got some more family lore for you, Nathan. So there had always been some rumors. So I don't know if you remember from our Empress Elisabeth of Austria episodes, do you remember how Franz Joseph and Maximilian's mom, Princess Sophie, was like just an absolute bitch to Elizabeth of Austria? So she had always had a really, really, really close relationship with the only legitimate son of Napoleon Bonaparte, who's gone down in history, like we'll just call him Napoleon II. So I want to click on this link in the show notes. So the only legitimate son of Napoleon Bonaparte is rumored for his entire life is rumored to be the biological father of Maximilian.
I see it.
How hot is this guy?
Now,
he died when he was like 21. So when Maximilian was like 2 or some shit. So like, but like, I had no idea that Napoleon's son was so cunty. First of all, look at this guy.
You ain't wrong.
This guy is serving like what?
Hottie patati.
Oh my goodness. This little hottie over here. So for his whole life, there was rumors that he wasn't a Habsburg at all, but that he was actually the grandson of Napoleon Bonaparte, which so also fueled the rumors because he was, personality-wise, he was so much different than the rest of his family. Like, he had different values and stuff like that. So,
So there is absolutely zero historical facts to back
but isn't it fun to speculate?
Yeah. Yes, it is. The emperor was very conservative. His brother Maximilian, much more liberal.
Right. A little backstory. So when these brothers, the Emperor Franz Joseph and little baby Maximilian, when they were teenagers, there were a series of rebellions all throughout Europe. And their dad had to abdicate his throne as Emperor of Austria. And so Franz Joseph became emperor when he was only like 18. So like, that's a lot. That's a lot. Franz Joseph went around as an 18-year-old squashing these rebellions, and he decided he wasn't showing any fucking mercy. He is executing these rebels as a sign. I mean, also, like, I hate it, but also put yourself in his shoes. You're wanting to send a sign, hey, I know I'm a kid, but I'm not going to be fucked with as the new emperor. Yeah. So this horrified Max, who's like 16, and it shaped his political opinions for the rest of his life because he had to like travel around with his brother watching this happen, feeling like helpless. Like, I can't do anything to help these people and this thing I don't agree with, but I have to sit on the side of the empire, basically. And so for the rest of his life, he leaned very much in the way of the rebels, basically, very like liberal leaning. He thought the people should have a say in their government. He thought people should have a vote. He believed strongly in freedom of religion. He was very into the money that being a royal bride.
Okay. Yeah.
He didn't really believe in like, basically the snobbery of it all. Like that I'm better than you because... But he was very much into, I will take the money. Do you know what I mean?
Yup, totally. But Maxie, he has a past. He's already been engaged before to a Brazilian princess named Maria Amelia, and he's in the Royal Navy, which has taken him all over the world.
Mr. Worldwide? So when they meet, Charlotte sees a young, dashing, handsome prince who has progressive views, cares deeply about what's right and what's wrong, and is well-traveled. So our girl is smitten kitten. She's got her eyes on him, and no one else will do.
And it seems like Max is a little less enthusiastic about it. Like, she's a great catch. She's the only daughter of a king, and she's beautiful, and she seems to like him. But he's not matching her energy.
He's not quite there. So, Nathan, this is fucking brutal. So there's this line from this private letter. We don't know who for sure he wrote this letter to, but we think he wrote it to his brother, the emperor. So he writes, this is during their courtship. He writes, she's short, I'm tall. She's brunette, I'm blonde. She's intelligent, which is a bit annoying, but I'll get over it.
Wow.
She's intelligent, but I'll get over it. What did you want? Like, she's a dumbass and I love it. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you found out that the man you were in love with wrote that about you? Like,
she's smart, but I guess I'll get over it.
What?
Right? So this shows us that while maybe they have been a little lovesick puppy looking at Max like the heart eye emoji, I don't think Max was quite coming at the same conclusion.
No.
Yeah.
We also have to remember this isn't Max's first rodeo. He's not a teenager. And he's been in love before. Like we said, he had been engaged before. And that Brazilian princess that he's been engaged to before, like that was a love match. That wasn't like a arranged thing. That was like a woman that he was in love with. And she died. So he might be a little bit jaded with this whole like thing, you know?
Either way, not long after they met, these two are engaged and Charlotte is the happiest girl in the world. Her dad and her cousin, Queen Victoria, were both like, Habsburg? Really? But then they met him and they were like, okay, this guy is charming, and everyone seemed really happy for her.
I have to imagine that Max must have just had some kind of swagger about him.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at these pictures, and I also have to understand that, like, beauty standards are different from now and then. Because, like, I'm looking at the pictures, and I'm like, I don't get
see it.
I don't. Because he had this weird beard situation going. The beard was just coming from every angle. Like, it was almost like a halo type beard. Like, it was, like, all-encompassing. I don't get it. So he must have just had, like, this. Do you know what I mean? Some people that they don't necessarily sell well in pictures, but once you meet them in person.
The Riz.
The Riz. He must have just had the Riz that even Queen Victoria was like, well, anyway. They were married about 7 months after the engagement at the Royal Palace in Brussels. I couldn't find anything. I was hoping to find like stuff about her wedding dress because like I was like, okay, what's the most contemporary wedding dress I can think of? Empress Sisi. Sisi's wedding dress we have so much detail about. Couldn't find shit about Charlotte's wedding dress, unfortunately. Womp, womp, womp.
Womp, womp.
Womp, womp. Pretty much like immediately afterwards the wedding, her and Max, they pack up, they go to Vienna, Austria, and move into the Austrian court with Max's very, very uptight family. The Austrian court would have been a bit of a shift from what she's used to.
Yeah, and Charlotte may have been a little nervous to leave home because the Habsburg court was pretty famous for being uptight and judgmental. So we don't know, but it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that she'd be nervous. Like, oh my God, what are they going to think about me? Am I going to be judged? Ugh.
Right? But if Charlotte did have any of those anxieties, it was for nothing because our girl was prepared and she understood the assignment. She took her etiquette classes very seriously. She carried herself like a princess. She had clearly done her homework. She knew who everyone was. She knew how everyone ranked. She fit in. She couldn't have been any more prepared. She knew the tree. And this is a Habsburg family. So to like know how everyone fits in that like family fucking wreath, like she must have like had flashcards on the boat ride over or the carriage ride over or whatever. But she was prepared. And so her anxieties were for nothing if she had any because it was great.
So for Max, this was also a huge win because he'd always been a bit of a black sheep in the family. So he's brought home this perfect little princess who is a huge hit at court. She's particularly popular with Max's mom, Princess Sophie of Bavaria.
Yeah, like we were saying, Princess Sophie was not an easy person to please. like we were saying, from our Sisi, Empress Elisabeth of Austria episodes, Sophie was an absolute nightmare to Sisi. Elizabeth of Austria is beautiful and free-spirited and just like had a very, very, very hard time of being empress.
That's putting it mildly.
Yes. Sisi was very, very ill-suited to be married to the emperor and to her duties to be empress. And she had a very long history of mental health issues. So without going into all of that, the empress was miserable and depressed. And her mother-in-law, this woman we're talking about, Princess Sophie, was the source of like 90% of that stress.
Yeah. So when this new princess materializes and all of a sudden the mother-in-law from hell is acting like Charlotte, hung the moon. Yeah. Well, misery loves company. So right out of the gate, these two sister-in-laws are enemies.
I hate that.
The empress is a total dick to Charlotte. So you know what? Charlotte's like, I don't have to take this from you. I've got our other in-law by my side. I can be a dick right back on you.
Not a good look for anybody, is it?
No. Which honestly is so sad because on paper, these two girls should have been friends because they're so similar. They're pretty much very open-minded about liberal politics. They're both outsiders. They're both being watched under a microscope at this very uptight Habsburg court. And sadly, spoiler alert, they're both going to suffer mental health issues.
Also, it's before Charlotte hit the scene, Elizabeth and Max had been buddy-buddy because they were both like more liberal-minded. They were like the only liberal-minded people at court. Then Charlotte shows up and Elizabeth is giving her like this cold reception. And so now Charlotte is like telling Max, you can't be friends with Sisi anymore. It is like the Real Housewives of the Court of Vienna.
Yeah, I mean, if it could be recorded, I would be there watching. I absolutely hate this, but that's what these kind of dynamics did to these girls. Mm-hmm. And I'm purposely using the term girls because remember, Charlotte is 17.
She's not a woman. She is a girl. Frontal lobes are not developed.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter because this dynamic didn't last long. Now that Max is married and as the brother of the emperor, they're like, okay, you're someone that's going to be starting a family now. It's time for a big boy job. Like,
you have to say it like that too.
Big boy job. Yeah. Big boy, big feelings, big job. So after a few months in Vienna, Charlotte and Maximilian pack up and head to Italy because Max has a new job.
This was probably more to keep Maximilian out of Austrian court politics than to keep Sisi and Charlotte apart. Max was super outspoken about what he disagreed with, with the brother-in-law, his emperor. But it's been so much better to say it was the women catfighting. So that's why these rumors persisted.
Right. So without getting too much into the weeds on complicated European politics, the kingdom of Lombardy-Veneta in modern-day Italy was under Austrian rule, and Max was set up as viceroy. Which in our last episode, in our Sorowana episode, we talked about viceroy. It's kind of like governor for this part of Italy is under Austrian rule, and he's acting like governor for his brother of this part of Italy.
This suited Charlotte very well. She loved this. They lived in Milan. They were away from the scrutiny of their families, so they could have some alone time, get to know each other.
Sexy alone time.
And they could have had a purpose at the same time, though.
Right. And Maximilian also loved this because Milan was a great place to start having affairs with all the beautiful ladies.
Maxi Moo, no.
We had such high hopes for you, Max.
And then you went and fucked it up. So, yeah, for all his progressive ideals, fidelity is not one of them. And he didn't put much stock into that one. And I don't think anyone really warned Charlotte that this was probably gonna be a thing that happened.
Yeah. This must have been such a confusing time for her because on one hand, she's living life like she was raised to live. Like she is the wife of the viceroy, exactly like she was raised for. She is living in this lavish court and she is the highest ranking lady. She entertains important diplomats from all over the world. She does public work with charities. She travels to other countries and she attends state events and she is like the person of honor at these events. And she is perfect at all of this.
Yeah, like we said, she was raised for exactly this reason. She was raised to be the perfect royal wife. But when the balls and the dinners were done, she'd go back to her mansions or her private island off the coast of Italy alone. Yeah, and sometimes just not seeing her husband for days. He wouldn't tell her where he was going. He'd just be gone. And all the ladies in waiting knew he'd found another mistress.
Sometimes he would even bounce back to Vienna, like leave Italy altogether without even telling her, to go party with his friends and his girlfriends in Austria, not tell Charlotte, and he'd go for like a month and not even tell her.
And Charlotte would just have to pretend like, oh yeah, I know, he had to go to attend to his business. He's totally told me all about this. And so she just doubled down on her charity work, restore more hospitals, visit more orphanages, hold more charity dinners. This was great for the sick and poor in Italy, but not super great for poor Charlotte's mental health.
On top of this, all the people are starting to whisper, like, why isn't Charlotte pregnant yet? Is something wrong with her? Because we see this in history all the time. When a woman doesn't get pregnant, people automatically point to what's wrong with her. And we have no record of her responding to this, but I'm thinking she was probably like, well, my husband has to physically be around me for me to get fucking pregnant.
Yeah.
Jesus.
After just 2 years of this posting, Max's brother takes the job away for two main reasons. He's too liberal, and he's basically making friends with all the Italians who are prone to starting rebellions.
One point on this is like with that, it's basically he's going up to the guys. The guys are coming up to him being like, we want to start rebellions. And he's like, yeah, y'all should totally do that.
And he's literally like, here's the money to do it. He's literally spending all of their money.
It's like, they're like his brother, the emperor is like, did you tell them they should start rebellions? And he's like, well, they should.
Yeah, why?
You're on, I pay, no.
Charlotte is likely embarrassed on that second one of spending all the money, but she's writing to her brother saying that, oh, after such hard work acting as viceroy, we're gonna take a vacay and I'm horseback riding and swimming and catching up with my reading and sunbathing. But what she's not writing to her brother about is that she's doing all these things alone. She's mortified on both fronts. She's like, what have I done? But what's even worse is that she's still in love with him.
I hate that. Ugh. In the meantime, in the same time period, her brother wrote in his diary that I don't think Charlotte's aware that Max is hitting him up. So Charlotte has a dowry that Max is supposed to get over time. And he's like hitting Charlotte's brother up for like advances on her dowry.
Yeah.
Because that's how broke they are now, because he's just spending all their money. And so he's right. Charlotte's brother is writing in his diary, just being like, my sister's loser husband is like renovating another castle that he can't afford and asking for advances on her dowry. And she's acting like, I don't know that he has a million mistresses and blah, 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 blah. Like, how sad is that?
It is. It's so
sad.
In December of that year, 1859, so they've only been married for like 2.5 years.
Their marriage should already be so sad in 2.5 years.
Yeah. Max is like, guess what? I've got a yacht, and we're going to go on this romantic voyage to study Brazil. I've got this beautiful place planned for us. And Charlotte's just so excited to see him, and he's planned this trip.
He's actually planned something for us to do together? I love it. And a yacht all the way to Brazil. Okay, so back then, a yacht from Europe to Brazil, that's going to take ages. And so it's just going to be the two of them. So that he can't sneak a mistress on the yacht, you know?
Nope.
So it's just going to be the two of them. This is basically going to be a second honeymoon. This is going to fix it, you know? That's what she's thinking. She's like, it's just going to be the two of us 4 months. This is going to fix us. This is going to be amazing.
But it wasn't amazing.
Narrator voice, it was not amazing.
Kaylee Cuoco and Sam Claflin star in the MGM Plus original series, Vanished. When the man Alice loves disappears on a train to the south of France, every romantic memory becomes evidence. Every intimate detail, a potential threat. She thought she knew everything about him, but she may not even know his real name. New episode Sunday on MGM Plus. Finding the truth is a dangerous affair.
It was not amazing.
In fact, Charlotte didn't even make it to Brazil. Their first stop was a Portuguese-owned island, Madeira, which would have been about 5 days into their trip. And Charlotte's thinking, this is just, the first little pit stop on a long lover's journey.
But that's when she's hit with the reality. Because this was never about the two of them spending time together. This was never about Charlotte at all. Nathan, do you remember how we said earlier Max had been engaged before to a woman that he had loved that had died? Do you remember how we'd said that she was from Brazil?
Yeah.
Well, guess where that woman died?
Madeira. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So it's not a romantic getaway is what I'm getting.
No.
This is some fucked up pilgrimage for him to visit the place where the woman he actually loved died and spent time.
Yep.
Ugh. And while in Madeira, Max got quiet and melancholy and just stone cold bummer to be around. And that's when Charlotte was like, you know what? I've had enough. I've had enough of this. You can go to Brazil alone. I'm not spending months traveling there and back competing with some dead woman.
Competing with a ghost. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you fucking imagine thinking you're going on a honeymoon and really you're just competing with a ghost of the woman he loved?
Ugh.
Like going to like her home. Like, I'm so happy that she stood up for herself and didn't continue the trip with him.
Right. I'm glad she did too.
Yeah. And so that's what happened. Max went to Brazil, and that's so fucked up that he just left her there. Max went to Brazil, and Charlotte stayed and waited for him to come back on the island of Madeira. Though her official reason for not going was seasickness. So, like, if you look at, like, her diaries or her letters home, her official reason for not going is seasickness. But come on, let's read between the lines here.
Yeah. She's alone in Madeira for 3 months. Can you imagine what's going through her head in those 3 months? I mean, if it's today, I'd be like, hello, divorce lawyer, but...
You've only been married 2.5 years. You don't have kids. You can probably divide assets real easily.
But for a royal couple in the 1800s, divorce is not an option.
Right. You know what makes me even sadder? This was in December. He leaves her in Madeira where she doesn't fucking know anybody in December and is gone for 3 months. She's only 20 years old. She's alone for Christmas.
That's sad.
Isn't that so sad? I mean, I guess like in the grand scheme of things, there's people that are dying, Kim. Like that's it. But like that just made me, that your husband's off doing God knows what with the ghost of the woman that he really wishes that he had married. and you're alone by yourself on Christmas on what you thought was going to be like the honeymoon that's saved your marriage. I just felt so sad for her reading about that.
Yeah, and when he came back, it seems like they had a happy enough reunion. However, after that, everything changed.
Most people believe that after his trip to Brazil, Maximilian may have given Charlotte some kind of venereal disease. Because after they left Madeira, they remained a couple in public, but in private, their relationship was over in private after this. They quit trying. They had separate bedrooms for the rest of their lives. And as far as we can tell, they never slept together again shortly after this trip.
So yeah, that's the assumption. He came back. She was happy to see him, that she got in bed with him when she realized she contracted something from him and was just like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I mean, can you blame her? This is the spring of 1860. They haven't been married for 3 whole years yet, and now she's already got something from him? Like, what?
She's like, I'm done. I've done everything I was supposed to do. I was the perfect princess. I read the books. I learned the languages. I learned my manners. I was pretty. I had the dowry. I came to your country. Everyone loved me. Your mother, who is impossible, loved me because I was perfect.
Then we get appointed to Italy, and I'm the perfect politician's wife. I host charities. I charm dignitaries. Everyone loves me. Everyone loves me. Except you. You don't love me. And I keep trying, and I make excuses after excuses for you, and I continue to be perfect, and you continue to be a joke and make me a joke. And what do I get for that? I'm done.
I'm fucking done. Now, before we wrap up this episode, we need to shift gears a little bit and get into some politics. It's all very convoluted and confusing. So we're going to keep it a little bit simple. But we need to hop across the pond to Mexico.
How the hell are we going from Italy and Austria over to Mexico?
Because colonialism.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So the guy running France now in the 1860s is a guy named Napoleon III. He's the nephew of the OG Napoleon, a.k.a. Napoleon Bonaparte. And Napoleon III has invaded Mexico.
Mexico was going through a bit of some growing pains at this time in history. For a long time, it was referred to as New Spain because it was Spain's rule that had them until 1821. And then Mexico won its independence from Spain. And the 1800s are a lot of fighting / new leaders coming in / those leaders being kicked out. It's an oversimplification, but of course.
Yeah. In 1861, the liberal leader, Benito Juarez, becomes the first indigenous president of Mexico. But he's broke. Independence is pricey. And so he can't pay back the debt he owes to France. And so that's the excuse that France uses to come in and declare Mexico now part of the French Empire.
Of course. Of course.
But that has the backing of the conservatives in Mexico. When I say the conservatives, I mean the millionaires and the church.
And by 1863, France has taken control of Mexico, but Napoleon has his hands full. He doesn't have time to run Mexico. So he's looking around Europe and he's like, okay, I need someone to go run this for me. They need to be from, a really respectable royal family, but someone I can control.
Right.
But someone that doesn't really have anything else on their plate at the moment, so they can just, pack up and move to Mexico. Someone smart, but not too smart. Oh, I know. The brother of the emperor.
Okay, let's change scenes again. And now we're back to Charlotte and Maximilian. It's 3 years later, but let's pretend Charlotte just gave her big "what did I give" speech. because Max gets to get my dowry, gets to get his mistresses, and he gets to go traipsing around Brazil and partying and murdering his dead girlfriend. Meanwhile, I'm here and I'm way smarter than him, and I'm wasting away, and what do I get?
She's bored. She's lonely. She has no purpose.
And that's when a delegation of French dudes show up, knock on the door, and they're like, hey, would y'all like to be Emperor and Empress of Mexico? And Maximilian is like, actually, no, thank you. And he goes to decline, and Charlotte shows up, and she's like, shut up. And before he can finish his sentence, she's like, yes, oh my God, yes, we will take it.
And that's where we're going to leave our story today.
Yes. So we will catch y'all back in a couple of weeks, and everything's going to be fine. Yes.
Yeah, it's all going to be
good.
great.
That's why we said this story is so happy. What were you saying, Nathan? Cheers, bitches?
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.